Just in time for Valentine's Day, you asked and you shall receive. How do I introduce new things to my wife or partner or spouse or girlfriend in the bedroom? This is a question that came up recently, my monthly Ask Me Anything at Patreon, and I think it is a common question for people who are sexually curious. You may have some things in mind that sound fun, whether that's a new toy or a new position or a new practice that you want to bring into the bedroom, but you're reluctant, hesitant. Maybe you've had some negative experiences before where you shared something with your spouse or your partner or a previous partner and she shot you down, she rejected the idea. So how do you introduce a new idea, a desire, a fantasy that you have in a way that she's more likely to receive it and be receptive to it? Well, the first thing you've got to do is get the context, right? Make sure that you are sharing this stuff with her inside of a space and environment that is safe, where communication can run free between you. That might mean that there are some things you got to clean up. That might mean that you got to approach her, on a Saturday instead of after work, or not when she's dealing with paying a traffic ticket or something like that. Make sure that the context is supportive for you to have that kind of conversation. Secondly, you're going to want to make sure that you are well educated on the subject itself. So, if you say hey, I really want to tie you up and try some restraint. Do you know what you're asking for? Do you know what it requires? How to do it safely? Come prepared to actually answer her questions on the subject matter instead of looking to her to figure out how to make that fantasy come true for you. Third, focus on the benefits to her, to you, and to your sex life. So let's continue the shibari rope bondage example. What are the benefits to her? Well, she really enjoys when you're dominant, and you think it would be easier for her to submit. If she was restrained, she might be able to go into a deeper level of surrender. What are the benefits to you? Well, it would be super hot. I would feel even more in control and more dominant. I would love the opportunity to be responsible for you, to hold you in that way. I think it would be such a turn on for me to see you wrapped up in ropes. I love knot tying, and it's a new skill that I would really love to learn. And what are the benefits to our partnership? It would give us something new and spicy to try. I think that we're in an environment where it's really safe for us to experiment, and this could bring us closer together. It could create a new level of connection. It could invite a deeper experience of power play and dom-sub dynamics. I think that we can do it safely and cheaply. It would really ignite some passion and some experimentation inside of our sex life. Do this exercise for yourself, no matter what it is that you want to bring up with her. Think about how you can say it to her, the information that you can share to her that creates an environment where she wants to do it. This isn't manipulation. This is enrollment. This is how are you inviting her to get into an idea with you? How are you enrolling her? How is she seeing the benefits for herself in such a way that it's an obvious yes? If you've already done the thought work on that, then it's going to be a lot easier for you to present it in such a way that she's more likely to get into it. Now, the reason that a lot of people don't do that, and I think the number one obstacle when it comes to sharing our desires and fantasies with a spouse or lover, is that we are afraid of how they're going to respond. We're afraid that maybe they're going to be an outright no, and that's going to hurt our heart, and we'll never recover from that, so I better just not say it at all. Maybe we're afraid that it's not safe to say those things, that she might have a negative reaction. It might bring up something from the past that's not really healed between us, and then I'd have to confront other times that I wasn't totally honest or wasn't sharing with her, or where we hurt each other's feelings. Okay, there are ways to navigate that, and if you're not sure how, see my videos on communication and or hire a coach who can help you. A lot of men also experience shame around their sexual desires. They feel like they're too much. They're just asking too much. Some men feel that about sex itself, that it's something that they want and women acquiesce, women give in to them, as opposed to something that they give to women and that women enjoy and want. If you feel shame about your desires, understand that that might just be your shame. You might feel that way about your desires. She might not feel that your desires are shameful or bad or dirty or naughty. That might be a story that you are telling yourself that is keeping you safe from asking for what you really want. And of course, all of this requires that your relationship is built on a strong foundation. Feel like it is safe for you to address something, ask for something that you want, even if you do have some shame or concerns or fears around it. You have to feel at least safe enough in your relationship to introduce those ideas. So if you don't feel super safe in your relationship, then it's time for you to figure out how to reestablish trust and intimacy and vulnerability with your spouse, showing her that you are the kind of man who can be trusted and who can lead in the bedroom, and that it is safe for her to follow your ideas or co-create them with you, and have her showing you that she is the kind of woman who cares about and supports and wants to make your sexual desires and fantasies into a reality. It is so much about clearing up the stuff that is in the way of you having those conversations, understanding the ways that you might be getting in the way of yourself having those conversations, and then doing the thought work and the information gathering to make sure that when you go into that conversation, you are fully prepared and ready to have it. I hope that you have an amazing and sexy and hot and steamy Valentine's Day. Thank you so much for joining me here and on Patreon, and I will see you here later this week.